So we've covered beer and whiskey, but there's another craft drink in our title that we haven't quite gotten to yet.
A beverage that over 64% of Americans drink every morning, and it too goes through its own creative methodology, but without the alcohol. Can you guess what it is?
Here's a hint. It goes by names like Java, Joe, Cuppa, Calf or Decaf, Bean Brew, Jet Fuel, Daily Grind, Lifeblood, and my personal favorite, Instant Human, just add coffee.
So today, we're stopping by the Greenmount Avenue Coffee Lab, home of Thread Coffee Roasters, to fuel up for the day with Casey, Nani, and Holly. This is Hops, Grounds, and What Are You Wearing?
All right, guys, we're here at Thread Coffee with Casey. Tell us, how did Thread Coffee come to be?
We started Thread back in 2012. There's been a big movement kind of nationwide in the past couple of years called She's the Roaster. Men usually get those jobs, and so I was just like, well, then I'm just gonna start my own company and do it. Started this like CSC program, which is these little tins here, the community supported coffee, paying in advance for 10 fills of coffee. That gives us the money up front to like buy all the coffee that we need to roast. Kind of decided to expand. Holly and Nani just came on board about like a year and a half ago. It just worked out really well. We all have like different specialties, so we come together in a really nice way.
And where did the name Thread Coffee come from?
We wanted something that would really capture sort of what our mission was, which is to bring movements together. So movements at the coffee farmer level to movements here. So like we're a women and queer-owned company, we're a worker cooperative. It's not just about chasing the latest trend or trying to find the best coffee out there year to year that changes, but instead actually having these really quality coffees, but from the same farms over and over. A big focus on both the origin and the quality, basically tailoring the roast to the bean, rather than just thinking about like light roast, dark roast, and not just like roasting all the coffees the same. We keep the relationships, and so just kind of bringing the sewing with the thread movements together. So it's a little cheesy, but.
And how does that translate to the experience you want your customers to have?
Thread Coffee's been around for 8 years, but the Coffee Lab has actually only been around for the last couple of years. And we created that as a space where people could actually come in and really get to experiment with our coffees. So we could like make one in a Chemex or an AeroPress or use it as an espresso, and all these ways, you get to bring out different notes of the coffee.
Have you done collaborations with anybody else before?
Yeah, so we worked with Baltimore Spirits Company for their Coffee Morrow, and then recently just did a beer with Peabody Heights. Both those are a lot of fun.
Well, that's a lot of awesome information, and I feel like we got to put some practicality to it. Can we see how the process is made?
Yeah, we'll grab Holly and you can go check out the roasting process.
Oh, awesome.
Great.
Sounds
Thanks
great.
so much, Casey. This has been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we're back here with Master Roaster Holly, and she is going to give us a full rundown of how Thread Coffee goes from the bean to the cup.
Coffee comes from it's cherry plants. So basically, they look just like the cherries that you would buy at the store, kind of.
Oh, wow.
Once they reach like a deep red color is when they're ripe to be harvested. They immediately go into a bath of water. They're agitated and the fruit comes off of the seed or the bean. Mm-hmm. This is a Rwandan coffee, so you can see the beans are like pretty small and dense, and that means you're going to need to use a higher temperature in the roaster to really like cook it the right way.
Where do we go in the next steps to start, to process this?
Weigh it out, put it in a bucket, and then dump the bucket in this hopper up here.
Okay.
Hold that up there until it reaches a certain temperature, and then you open that, the coffee falls into the drum, starts spinning around, and that's when you start roasting. And it's heated by these heat plates underneath the drum. And so generally the roast cycle is about anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the size of the batch.
Okay.
And then, yeah, when you're done, you just open this up and it just falls down into here. This is called the cooling bin. And it
Oh, wow.
and that'll cool the beans down so they don't keep roasting, basically.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So after the beans are here, where do we go next?
We bag them up, basically. These go out to our wholesale customers or they go into our cafe.
What's the one that really everybody kind of always gravitates towards?
So our May 68 is our espresso blend.
Okay.
And I think that's one of our most popular ones. That's definitely the one I roast the most.
What kind of your own personal creative touches do you put into this coffee?
I get to decide what the tasting notes are that we put on the bag. So say, for example, strawberry, oak, and fig. Those are like the flavors that we pick out of the coffee, and I and my coworkers basically get to decide what those are. It's not like a predetermined thing.
Right.
It's very subjective based on what you taste in the coffee.
Well, this process looks awesome, and everything you've told us about this, some of the coffee smells we're getting, we gotta taste some of this stuff.
All right, I think Nani can help you out with that.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. This has been awesome. All right, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah,
Al.
thank you.
And now we're here with Nani. Tell us, there's a whole process to coffee about how to try it, how to taste it. What is this?
So in the cupping process, what you're doing is scoring specialty coffee on a scale of 0 to 100. Instead of cupping for score, we're gonna go through the cupping process just for flavor. First thing to do is just go through and smell, think about the different notes that you're getting, and then what I'll do is we'll start the tasting process.
Wow. I already noticed a difference between the two of these. Like, right, the peanut in this, I don't smell in that. I'm trying to find the blackberry in this.
I think you're gonna get it more in the flavor.
In the actual flavor.
Oh,
Gotcha,
okay.
gotcha. Oh, wow. Oh, that's way different.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You definitely get the flavors on that one.
Yeah, the strawberry is, especially after smelling these that don't have it, then you hit something with fruit and it's like, whoa, that's there.
All right, so what I'll do is pour the water on, and we'll wait 4 minutes. While it's brewing, you'll go through and you'll smell the crust. Don't touch it. Just smell the surface, and then you'll take notes if there's any difference.
Oh, you're right. Now there's more of a smell to that for sure.
That's
like,
great.
The aroma with this one seems like it's intensified almost.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. It's like the flavors kind of just being amped up more.
That's right, yeah. So at 4 minutes, what you'll want to do is take the back of the spoon and push it through the crust, forward and back and forward 3 times. You don't want to over agitate it.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
That time I felt like the blackberry. I know I keep saying that, but it was like chocolate, then the nut butter. Now I got something, there was like a fruit underneath. As strong as the strawberry was in this before, now the oak and the fig is there.
Okay, so we're about 12 minutes in. This is a really good time to start. It's not too hot. If you're too caffeinated up for the day, you can take a spit cup or spittoon. But the idea is to slurp it off of the spoon, and it aerates and covers your palate.
Okay.
That way, in theory, the flavor will have coated your entire palate.
Okay.
Okay.
So it'll be something like this.
Oh, wow. That was intense.
It was not a good slurp.
Can we slurp together?
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
It almost comes in waves in terms of the flavor. I don't know how to describe the body. I wouldn't call it full or broad, but I'd call it like pointed, precise, if I may say.
See, these
if
things
that
are,
makes sense.
yeah, that's great.
Well, let's give this one a shot right now, okay?
This one you said the blackberry is sort of plays into the acidity, but the blackberry for the taste, to me, is like right there.
Yeah.
I get that right away.
That's perfect.
Let's do a cheers on this one. There you go. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Definitely the strawberry and the fig instantly.
And
like
for-
you can, the fruit by far in this one I feel like is the most noticeable for sure, especially coming off of these.
Nani, this has been amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you so much. Well, we've learned a ton about Java today. And you know, as the world moves faster and people look for that instant shot of caffeine, I think it's important to take a moment when you can to enjoy coffee for the craft drink that it really is and not just the pick-me-up.
Casey, Holly, and Nani are doing something special. The love, complexity, and commitment they fuse into their drinks is just as apparent as any alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage out there.
Fred Coffee prides itself on their direct and personal interaction with their farmers, social outreach, women ownership and empowerment, and their commitment to international rights and fair wages.
Come taste for yourself. All the info is right below the video. Thanks for watching, and remember, life begins after coffee. Seriously, what is that? We'll see you next time on Hops, Grounds, and Mash.
back.